Good evening and welcome to this Prior Lake City Council meeting. Well, Happy New Year of this Tuesday, January 13th, 2026. If you would, please join me. Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is wonderful to see you all this evening. The first item on our agenda is the public forum. The public forum is that opportunity for those in our council chambers that wish to come before the city council and provide testimony. This is the time to do so. The one area where testimony could not or will not be accepted this evening during the forum is if a hearing has been scheduled for the topic, either has been scheduled or took place most recently, as we must aggregate testimony during those hearings. With that one exception, is there anyone that would like to come before council this evening? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda that we have before us. Council. Yes, Manager Waddell.
Thank you, Mayor and council members and members of the audience. Before you approve the agenda this evening, staff would request that you remove item 5E, the resolution authorizing final payment for the County Road 21 and County Road 87 intersection project. We need to make a tweak to that that staff was made aware of earlier today, so we'll bring that back in 2 weeks. So if we could ask that the agenda be approved minus that item.
Thank you so much, Manager Waddell. With that, I would entertain a motion on the agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the agenda with the exception with striking item 5E.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Lake, second by Councilmember Churchill to approve the agenda with that modification. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. Brings us to item 4A, which is the approval of those December 9th, 2025 City Council meeting minutes. Council, any modifications, additions, changes? If none, would entertain a motion to approve as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Braid, second by Councilmember Hellier to approve those meeting minutes. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, that motion carries.
Abstain.
And with one abstention, Councilmember Churchill. Bringing us to the consent agenda this evening, I would go ahead and turn this item over to Manager Waddell to introduce the consent agenda as well as those items before us. Manager Waddell.
Thank you, Mayor and council members and members of the audience. So our consent agenda is for those items that are considered routine or non-controversial. They're placed all together on the consent agenda. So unless the mayor or a council member asks for an item to be removed for separate consideration, they're all approved together under a single motion, second, and a vote. If an item were to be removed this evening for separate consideration, it would be placed under item 10 on the agenda. So tonight we have the following items on consent. We have the approval of the claims listing. We have a resolution authorizing the purchase of equipment for the Raymond and Spring Lake Lift Station Rehabilitation Project. We have a resolution receiving quotes and awarding a contract for building maintenance at the Wilds Booster Station and Well House 6. A resolution approving change order number 1 for the Lakeside Sewer Lining Project, City Project 2021-14. Approval of the Animal Control Services report for the month of November. Approval of a contribution of $225,000 in local affordable housing aid to Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity. Approval delegating authority to pay claims and make electronic fund transfers. Resolution approving an extension to the recording deadline for the Jeffers Pond 11th edition. Approval of the November 2025 Treasurers Report. Approval of the annual City Council appointments. And finally, approval of the building permit summary report for the month of December.
Thank you so much, Manager Waddell. Council, are there any items before us on the consent agenda that you would ask be removed and taken up under item 10? If none, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Braid, second by Councilmember Hellier to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye. Aye, that motion carries. Council, are there any items that we just approved on the consent agenda for which you would like to make comments? Seeing, Manager Waddell.
Yeah,
Manager Waddell.
May I?
Yes.
I just wanted to note in the audience this evening we have several representatives from the Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity, and wanted to thank them for being here this evening, and thank you for the work that you're doing in our community with that townhome project. And we're looking forward to how these LAHA funds can help see that project to its conclusion.
Actually, thank you so much, Manager Waddell. And actually, Cecile, if I could I invite you to come over, please, and give us a bit of an update on where we are? Oh, please do. But yes, it is our pleasure. And Manager Waddell, thank you so much for calling this out, because it's also wonderful to have you with us. So please, an update on the project here in Prior Lake.
My name is Cecile Bedore. I'm the Chief Real Estate Officer for Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity. We really appreciate the support that you've given us over the last few years. And this particular action you took tonight, we are really grateful for this. We know there's other ways that one can spend these really finite LAHA dollars, and this is really meaningful to us, as we've seen, because it's a multi-year project. Costs go up, things change, but we have great work right now. I'm going to let Betsy talk about the sales, but the first 2 buildings are complete. The third building, we have, let's see, we have a lot of the plumbing done. We have the framing is starting right now, and we hope to have these units up and running by the end of the fall for sale there. And I'll let Betsy talk about the sales.
Yes, so of the 8 completed units on the first 2 buildings, we've sold the first 7, and the 8th completed unit will be closing next week to the new homeowner family. So very exciting. It's a great project. We're so thankful for your partnership.
Wonderful. Actually, Cecile, if I could have you come back forward. One of the things I'd like to share with council, it was about a year ago that we met in the Habitat office.
Yes.
And one of the things that you educated me on that I'd love for you to share is these development gaps and affordability gaps.
Yes.
And how it is that these funds assist Habitat, these gaps that put home ownership just out of reach.
Right.
Oftentimes, if you would, in just as succinct a fashion as you did when we were together, these development gaps for which these funds, I believe, are directed specifically at a development gap.
Right, exactly. So it's interesting, because driving out here, we're just talking about first-time home buyers and starter homes and how developers aren't building those anymore. So it's really out of reach. So the cost that Habitat entails to build houses is essentially the same in terms of materials. We have some savings because we have a lot of labor donated by folks who come out, a lot of regular crews that come out. But essentially, we'll have a development gap that maybe it's $400,000 to build a house, and we can sell it for $300,000, which I'm going to come back to that. So you've got a $100,000 development gap, and we need to go figure out how we're going to fill that gap. And that's sources like LAHA, our donors, some state of Minnesota funds. We try to kind of, it's called a capital stack, of trying to stack all these different sources to fill that. So then we try to have the listing price be what the fair market value is based on a broker's opinion of value. So that might be $300,000. We have to sell it to people below a certain income level, which means they may only be able to afford a mortgage of $200,000. So then we got to go raise $100,000 in affordability gap. And that money we have raised through the state of Minnesota through their impact funds. So it's, I came from multifamily development, which I thought was really complicated. I went, oh, this is going to be easy. It's just a different kind of complication. But it does require several different sources of funds to come in to fill both of those gaps.
Again, I want to thank you for the partnership, and just share with you what you do is very, very important. And we're so happy that you found Prior Lake. So thank you so much for being here this evening.
Thank you, and thank you all. We really appreciate your support.
Certainly. Moving on to the agenda, item 6 on our agenda this evening is presentation. And I'm going to go ahead and hand this over to Manager Waddell.
Thank you, Mayor and council members and members of the audience. I am so excited. This item got delayed a month due to some nasty weather in December, but we are so excited this evening to be celebrating our 2025 Cora B. McQuestion Spirit of Prior Lake Award winner, who is Dawn Schulberg. A little background. The recipient of the 2025 Cora B. McQuestion Spirit of Prior Lake Award is Dawn Schulberg, and she has spent the last 3 decades enriching the lives of Prior Lake dancers. She started teaching dance in Prior Lake in 1992, and a decade later, in 2003, opened Premier Dance Academy, a studio that has grown into one of the area's most respected youth arts organizations. In another milestone achievement, Dawn was the first woman to build a commercial building in downtown Prior Lake, making her a trailblazer not only in the arts, but also in the local business community. Her mission has remained consistent throughout her career to educate, promote participation in the arts, and foster appreciation for dance to help children build confidence. Under her leadership, Premier Dance Academy has been nominated for Business of the Year and is known for its strong tradition of giving back to the community. One of Dawn's most meaningful initiatives is the creation of a local chapter of Darby's Dancers, a nationwide nonprofit providing dance opportunities to children with special needs. At Premier, all costs for Darby Dancers are fully covered, ensuring that every child can participate regardless of financial circumstances. The program has flourished and now supports 31 enrolled students. So this award is named after Cora B. McQuestion, the city of Prior Lake's first female mayor. And this award is presented annually to an individual whose actions have made a significant positive impact on our community. Recognizing community members who perform good deeds without the expectation of reward allows the city to say thank you to those who exemplify the spirit of Prior Lake. So on behalf of the city, we'd like to thank Dawn for her outstanding efforts to improve the community, and we're pleased to honor her contributions with this award. And we would ask if you want to step up to the side lectern, the mayor has a proclamation for you.
So it is my distinct pleasure, because I can't think of anyone more deserving of the Cora McQuestion Spirit of Prior Lake Award than Ms. Dawn Schulberg. And again, certificate, and if I will share this lovely crystal, please, item for you. But, and again, this does speak to who exemplifies the spirit of Prior Lake through her significant actions that have positively impacted our community. And while what I'd love to do now is give you an opportunity, share a few words. I'll go ahead and put this in here so it's here for safekeeping. And we'll take a brief recess after you speak, and we'll take a couple of pictures. So, but let me be among the first.
So much.
Congratulations.
Really appreciate it.
You bet.
Wow, this is amazing, and I'm so thrilled to receive this from all of you. I'm just so grateful. It's just, I can't get the smile off my face. Premier Dance is all about teaching kids to the agility, the performance, the teamwork, and the confidence. And it's our job to not just do that and just teach these beautiful dances, but it's our responsibility to promote giving back. And our dancers are making blankets for dogs. We have a huge trailer full of foods for the CAP agency. They donate so many toys to Ronald McDonald House. We're a member of the Dancers Against Cancer, which they give back to, and so much more. I know the fire department, at one time several years ago, they made baskets and baskets of stuff to honor you and to represent our love for you guys and what you do. So it's hard to make the list. It's my job, and it's my children's job who can't be here. They gave me flowers because they're teaching, because we have a rehearsal for competition. So I have just a cute couple of my friends, and I want to thank Pat and Jill for nominating me. and for sticking by me and believing in me, as well as all of the city staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. And now I'd like to call for a brief recess at 7:16. All right, I'd like to call the meeting back into session at 7:18. Bringing us to item 9A, new business resolution recognizing the relief pension plan's termination on February 28th, 2026, and supporting Prior Lake Fire Relief Association's dissolution and transition to para-coordinated plan. Manager Waddell.
Thank you, Mayor and council members and members of the audience, and especially we're honored to have a number of our firefighters here with us this evening, so thank you for being here. A little background on this. So our Prior Lake Fire Relief Association currently administers retirement benefits for all of our city's paid-on-call firefighters. The city transitioned to full-time fire back in 2023, reducing the reliance on paid-on-call firefighters. So our paid-on-call staff now primarily function more as shift firefighters than necessarily as paid on call. They sign up for specific shifts and times to fill and supplement our full-time firefighters. So currently, the Prior Lake Fire Relief Association is responsible for managing the retirement benefits for active, deferred, and retired members, with funding sources coming from the annual state fire aid that we receive as a city, and the city also has some past contributions. If the Board of Trustees votes to voluntarily dissolve the Relief Association, the board can establish a date of termination, which is what they have done. So the PLFRA board voted to initiate voluntary dissolution of the Prior Lake Relief Association with the termination of the current relief retirement pension plan on February 28th of 2026. So starting on March 1 of 2026, our Prior Lake paid-on-call firefighters will transition to regular part-time employees and move to the Minnesota Public Employees Retirement Association plan, or PARA, for retirement benefits. Because they work less than 20 hours on average per week, the part-time firefighters aren't eligible for other city benefits. However, they will be entitled to accruing and using earned sick and safe time. The PLFRA will remain in place until the complete liquidation of the special fund and assets are completed, and a formal dissolution date will be determined and communicated once those dates are confirmed. So the transition to PARA will streamline benefit management, ensure financial stability, and align with the city's firefighter retirement plan with industry standards. The PARA plan is administered and backed financially by the state of Minnesota. It offers full vesting after 3 years of service, and members and the city are each required to contribute towards that plan. So the employees contribute 6.5% of their wages, and the city contributes a matching 7.5% of their wages towards that plan. And that plan is transferable if a firefighter were to go work for another city, that plan moves with them. So transitioning to the para plan also results in the city being able to use those state aid funds that had been going to the Relief Association pension, now will be available for the city to put towards firefighter wages and retirement benefits for the full-time folks too. So the next steps for the Relief Association Board is to include overseeing the liquidation of their special fund, ensuring that all the retirement benefits and expenses are paid within 200 days of the plan's termination. So the financial impact of all of this, so it really ended up being a win-win proposition where the folks that are part of the Relief Association, their pension benefits are increased because there's a fund, and the balance of the fund needs to be expended. So the payout for their years of service was increased pretty significantly up to $16,125 per year of service, but just still below the max, which is allowed by state. State dictates you can't pay out more than $20,000 per year, so they're still below that, but it's a pretty significant increase from where they had been, so that was good. And then on the flip side, the city now gets to receive the fire state aid, which last year was about $450,000. So it's a significant amount of money there too. So we feel good about the transition. It was a voluntary effort on the Relief Associations to move forward with this. So we don't see any reason for opposing this. So if there's any questions for me, I'd be happy to take those. But if not, we would recommend a motion in a second to adopt the resolution recognizing the relief pensions plan's termination as of February 28th, 2026, and supporting the dissolution and transition to para.
Before calling for a resolution, unless council any questions at all, it's been my distinct pleasure to be the council liaison to the Prior Lake Fire Relief Association. It's been my pleasure for having served for 9 years. And this is something that relative to the transition and how seamless, quite honestly, and I want to thank the firefighters for bringing this forward quite candidly, because as Manager Waddell stated, this truly is a win-win. But I also know it does provide to our firefighters that have done such a wonderful job for this community. It does provide a nice benefit as well. And council, I certainly will be supporting this, but I can't thank our firefighters enough for what you do, have done, but also carrying us and leading us to this point. So thank you so much. With that, I'd either be happy to make the resolution, or excuse me, as I look at it, it's I would like to make a motion to adopt a resolution supporting the dissolution of the Prior Lake Fire Relief Association, also known as PLFRA, and transitioning firefighter benefits to the Minnesota Public Employees Retirement Association Coordinated Plan.
Second.
We have a motion by Mayor Briggs, second by Councilmember Braid. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that motion carries. Thank you. With that brings us to Councilmember liaison updates. And if I may, look down at Councilmember Ellier.
Thank you, Mayor. Council last Wednesday had the Chamber Board meeting, and then yesterday had my agenda review with Councilmember Braid.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Lake.
Yep. On January 9th, I attended the Scale General Meeting, and then on the 9th, I also had my agenda review, and on the 12th, which was yesterday, I attended the EDA meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Lake. Councilmember Churchill.
Thank you, Mayor. On December 16th, I had the Prior Lake Spring Lake Watershed District meeting, and on the 17th was my MVTA board meeting, and my agenda review was on January 9th.
Thank you, Councilmember Churchill. Councilmember Braid.
Mayor, members of the council, On Monday, yesterday, 1/12, I attended the EDA meeting where we discussed multiple development options in downtown and also the Cora building next door to City Hall. And I also attended my agenda review.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Braid. On the 18th of December, Manager Waddell and I had a nice meeting with Chair Representative Mike Howard and his legislative assistant in regards to housing. Coming into the new year, on the 5th of January, attended the Municipal Legislative Commission Housing Subcommittee meeting on the 5th. On the 6th of January, again, Manager Waddell and I had a wonderful meeting with the Metropolitan Council, specifically with Administrator O'Connor and Housing Director Barajas, to discuss the legislative initiatives that are before us in 2026. On the 8th of January, attended again the MLC Housing Subcommittee meeting, Scale General meeting on the 9th, and then most recently today, or yesterday, excuse me, attended the Regional Council of Mayors. That concludes my comments. Manager Waddell, anything you'd like to add?
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing further this evening.
With that, Council, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion by Councilmember Braid to adjourn, second by Councilmember Hellier. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. The meeting is adjourned at 7:27.